Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23. It is time to continue our MotoGP 23 career mode. It is time for round 12. It is the circuit of Marco Simoncelli. It is Misano, and we start from pole position, 27,000th of a second ahead of Pecco Bagnaia. Let the battle commence. So here we are then guys, from pole position, waiting for the red lights to disappear. Waiting, and away we go. Oh, it's a good start, but wow, certainly not as good a start as Pecco Bagnaia. So into turn one, this could be a very difficult corner to tackle, to get through, but we are through relatively safely. I'll tell you what, it's going to go even better as we now go up to first position. It's back to where we started in the early stages here in Misano. Now, the interesting point about Misano is that I think I won my very first MotoGP race here in the very first gameplay video I did when in having the early access. So I think this should be not a relatively easy one, but I think we should be in a good shout for a victory here today. Didn't do that many laps within the practice. I was quite confident that we'd get pole position, but I wasn't expecting it to be so close. I had to really work and really push hard for the pole in the qualifying to a couple of moments ago. But rest assured guys, I think we have a good chance of making this a fun video. So guys, if you are enjoying the content, be sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing. And of course, if this is your first video with me this year, Happy New Year and welcome to 2024. Let's hope this is the season for us to do exceptionally well in MotoGP 23. So into the right hand side for 14, we are what, 0.8 of a second clear from Marco Bezzecchi. There's certain points of this track where the AI are significantly stronger and vice versa for us as the player being stronger than them. So in a couple of these corners we are going to have to do what we can, and hopefully we can hold on for the victory. Wow, Pecco has just dropped to 4th now. That's not quite what I was expecting from the number 1. Johan Zarco back up into, in fact, he might be up to the top 3 for the very first time in today's Grand Prix. But of course, if you know Johan Zarco from my previous MotoGP video, which was just before Christmas Day, actually, I think it may have been Christmas Eve. Of course, unfortunately for myself and my family, we did suffer a loss over the Christmas period. My grandfather unfortunately lost his life, and content has been very difficult for me to make recently. But I'm feeling positive and I'm feeling hopeful to still bring you some good videos. I'm going to do my best and try not to think about that too much as it stands. But guys, just want to say big thanks for all the support and all the love for everyone recently through the comments and private messages. I really do appreciate it, and it's the reason I'm back for making content today. You guys have brought me through, so I want to make sure this is a special race here today. I've gone a bit deep into Tramonto, and that has cost us a big... I don't know, we have lost a lot of time there to Bez. I shouldn't really be... should really stick to the action here, because Marco Bezzecchi's so close, isn't he? 0.4 of a second behind us in this sprint. Not overly concerned. I know there's a good couple of points where I can regain the position if he does overtake me, but I lost my mojo for a moment there. I need to get back to it, and hopefully we can stay concentrated and get this victory. This would be, what, our 4th victory of the season in sprint? I think that's correct. Mine's a little bit hazy, but I'm confident to believe that will be our 4th, as Bez sets the fast lap of the race, followed immediately by Johan Zarco. Not quite my qualifying pace, but 1:31.001, we can definitely do better than that in full race trim. Zarco, Bagnaia, Martin, Marquez up there, Miguel Oliveira up into the top 7, top Aprilia honours for him, and Maverick Vinales down in 8th place. So not quite the top 8 I was expecting. I don't know where Bastianini is. He's been really racy in the practice and qualifying, so I don't know where he's gone. Maybe he had a moment? Not entirely sure. But what I do know is we now have a 0.7 of a second lead. If you cast your minds back to my Moto2 career mode, in that corner there for that left-hander into La Quercia, that's where the AI were really struggling. They were making all sorts of mistakes in that wet Grand Prix, which eventually ended it to be. So as we escape Tramonto corner, the gap comes down quite a lot. Now, we noticed in the Red Bull Ring of Austria, we noticed in Catalonia, the AI just seems to lose a bit of speed on the straights. Here is quite the opposite. You'll see when there's straights here, we actually lose a lot of time. I don't know why the AI is able to go faster and slower in some straights in this game. I don't really get it. but all I know is that it's going to make things very difficult if we don't get through before Tramonto. If we get overtaken and we lose it, it's going to be very difficult to regain the position from what I've seen within the practice sessions. Marco Bezzecchi's what, a tenth and a little bit behind us now. We're quite strong into the second corner. Gap is still very close. Not very good lap times here for myself so far. I thought I'd be comfortably into the 30s. Not quite as quick as Jorge Martin, maybe not, but I thought it'd be at least in the 130 bracket. As we go into the left-hand side for turn 6. Medium tyre options were available for this one, and I feel that was a good decision. I did want to consider the soft, but I'll be honest, I'm not sure that would have been a wise decision. The game was recommending the hard front, but I'd rather save that for the race. I did use hard front for qualifying, so I've only got one left for this one, so I think the medium will get us by. It doesn't overheat. It's getting warm. It's certainly getting warm. Look how hot it's got now onto the right-hand side of the tyre there for Tramonto. I want to be careful of that. I don't want to be getting a little bit too eager on that front brake. But it should be enough for us to keep this lead. So the gap is 0.6 of a second. We continue to go on the long right-handers. Dropping the gears into turn 13. Not too far. Drop it down to first there and it's good night, Vienna. It'd be an absolute mess if I dropped it down to first gear there. One out of the Caro corner. I always think of Jorge Lorenzo and Rossi battling it out into the Caro corner. I think it might have been 2015 or 16 when Rossi sat up Lorenzo mid-corner for turn 14. It looked quite impressive, if I do recall. But across the line, it's 1:31.3. So a deviation of half a second as it stands. Pecco Bagnaia has now found himself back into the top 3. And Marco Bezzecchi's just slipped behind. In fact, he's going worse. Something has happened to the number 72. He's now dropped to 5th place. He has regained the position for 4th, but he's still fighting for those valuable positions. We go into the Rio corner and we begin to escape the clutches of Jorge Martin and Pecco Bagnaia. This will be a very special victory, bouncing back after a bit of an absence, and hopefully then can really get to it. Apart from my own personal grievances and issues at the moment and in life getting me down, we have, of course, had some difficulties. In fact, no, the last race we did was Catalonia, which actually went superb. It was a terrific race, and I thoroughly enjoyed making content that day. Both on the Catalonia race and the sprint was just phenomenal. One of the best videos I've made in MotoGP 23, if I do say so myself. Of course, after then it was a bit of doom and gloom for myself. Still is, to be honest. Life does suck sometimes, it really does. I apologise I'm not my usual bouncy self today, but I'm certainly trying. Life's not easy. It certainly gets you down. But anyway, at turn 15, it is what it is. We've got to focus now. Keep on doing the content. Want to entertain you guys. That's why we're doing it here today. Let's do it together. Let's focus now. We're on the penultimate lap when we get across this line. And notice Jorge Martin wasn't too far behind us. So we've got to try and conjure something up. And it's the last person I want to see behind me. It's that number 1, numero uno, Pecco Bagnaia. Of course, he's going to get a 3rd World Championship in the game form. And honestly, I don't know if we can hold him back next season. I need to have an incredible bike next year to have any chance of winning a MotoGP World Championship. Will it and can it be done on the gas? I really don't know. I've declared my intentions to either stay or move. I just don't know what I'm going to be given next year. I can't wait. I really can't. I'm going to keep on cracking on with these videos to make sure we get it done sooner rather than later, and that way we can bask in more MotoGP 23 content, because I'll be honest, I am loving MotoGP 23. Much more than Ride 5 at the moment. My heart is just dedicated to the 23 installment of MotoGP. It's just brilliant. I'm really enjoying this, but what I'm not enjoying is the fact that Pecco has now closed the gap again. The gap is down. It was down to about 1/10 of a second, but we responded well just going into turn 13. And now into Caro for 14. 0.2 of a second it is. Pecco is on the close. Oh God. Just stay together. Keep it together. Do not falter. No, here he comes. The formerly number 63, now number 1, is right on our tail. If he attacks us, we must attack. We must respond. 1:31.1 for us. There's a yellow flag out for someone. Hey, oh my goodness, Pecco hit me hard there for just a little bit. I'm going to lift him up in the mid-corner. Take it back, Pecco. Take it back. He hit me hard there, so I don't care. Have it back, sunshine. Ah, God, that was an aggressive move. I'm not even going to pretend I didn't even try and pick him up in that corner. Pecco, have a taste of that, pal. We're not getting battered around with the AI. I'm not doing it. 120% difficulty is hard enough as it is. You're not going to start pushing me out of the way in turn 1. I'll fight back and I'll take the position. Eagerness, determination, and a bit of anger coming into my riding there today. I know some people don't particularly like the way I get aggressive with AI, but honestly, it's the only place I will get aggressive. I'm not really like that when I race online. Unless I go up against some riders in the Ace Academy, I do get quite into it, but I always leave space. This time, after getting a taken there, I'm overtaking straight back. But I tell you what, it has not deterred Pecco at all. He's 0.3 of a second behind us, and he's going to go really quick into 14 here. So I've got to make sure we place the defensive strategy here right as tight as it possibly can be to the apex. No, it's not enough. He's still there. Here comes Pecco. Does he go around the outside? Surely not. We've given him a bit of a nudge again, but Pecco's still strong. Is he going to be able to go around the outside again? Surely not. Not this time. Course not. Have a bit of that, Pecco. We will cross the line. Victorious here in Misano for yet again another MotoGP sprint victory. Well, that went really fast. And that was a race that ended in 68,000th of a second. My goodness. The AI still get stronger as the races progress, don't they? Oh, that one felt good. But have a look at the championship standings. It didn't really do much. It didn't change anything. Of course, Pecco's still leading by a whopping 104 points over Enea Bastianini, but we are still in 7th with only a couple of points behind Jorge Martin. So, another sprint victory to our name. I'm pretty pleased with that result. Now it's just a case of trying to get a Grand Prix victory as well. Those don't come very well, and oh my goodness, the start is a lot different here today. Pecco's launched up into the first position, and now we're down. Oh wow, actually regained a couple of positions there. I'm going to get into Pecco. No, wasn't trying to actually hit him there. Of course, I did him in the sprint, and I'll fully own up to that one. And I'll fully own it up to here as I fly up on the inside to regain the position. And for some strange reason, yeah, we've got Pol Espargaro as our target today as Bastianini goes up on the inside. Wow, I thought that was a cheeky lunge from Bastianini. I wasn't going to allow him to get through. But yeah, for some strange reason, after we failed to achieve the objective of beating Maverick Vinales for 5th place in the championship, we have now been looking to beat Pol again. That's our new target, which apparently it's to do with something about me getting certain respect again from the gas and maybe not aiming so high, something like that. It seemed a bit unfair, really. I was only a few points behind. But anyway, as it stands, Bastianini, there you go, I mentioned this earlier in the sprint. The speed that they have on the straights is phenomenal. It's much quicker than the players, and it's going to be quicker than us anyway, because this gas is just so underpowered in this MotoGP career mode. We need help, and we need a lot of help coming very, very soon, I hope. Which actually might not even happen, because we might even end up moving team and never ever achieve any decent results with the Tech 3 gas. Well, then again, I do say that, but we have just won another MotoGP sprint race, 4 MotoGP sprints to our name, something like that. We've had a good season. I don't think anyone will disagree, but it could have been better. I want to win the MotoGP Championship, and I'm determined to do it. Whether it takes 2 seasons or 3, we will achieve that feat eventually. So into the Rio corner. Coincidentally, the name of one of my cats. Hello, Rio. Shout out to you. Don't know if you're watching this, but you're certainly listening because you're on the bed. But anyway, ignoring that, we are now 5.5 seconds ahead of Pol Espargaro, so I don't even think I'm going to bother entertaining that objective because we're guaranteed to dethrone our teammate. I think maybe it's a battle of supremacy for team leader. I don't know why. I mean, Pol's nowhere near us, but hey, it is what it is. The game does what it does. Now when I've gone wide, a little bit deep there, not paying too much attention in here. Bastianini wants to get through, but he's not through yet. Will he have the speed on the straight? The status quo of the gap is still there. He is charging, but even us in Power Setting 2 are still enough to stay ahead of the factory Ducati. The Desma Sedici GP23, of course, as you know, has speed for days. The KTM, not really, not so much, although the KTM is still very fast. But if you're playing MotoGP 23 career mode with the team, which is the Tech 3 Gas, your RC16 will not have any power. It's something we've certainly experienced together throughout this season. So across the line we will be the fastest man on track, and unfortunately the game is not showing me who the fastest lap is, so I apologise for that, that's my fault. If that ever happens to you, the way to fix it is to restart the race. So I don't know if you knew this, but every single race I do, I actually do the sprint, I then start the next race, and then I restart it. So I actually restart every single race twice, or once, yeah. And that way the fastest lap will always be there. But looks like for this one I forgot to do the video. I forgot to do it, so apologies to you guys there. That's a mistake from former DrAce, the older, the past DrAce, let's say. Sorry. Anyway, back to the action. So far so good. Gap is 0.4 of a second. We go to the tight apex of Tramonto for turn 10. Much cleaner this time around, and that's demonstrated by the delta, showing 2.5 of a second in our favour for this particular exchange of lap time. Pecco is now up into second place. Of course, he'll not be happy with the way we sort of barged him out of the way in that previous race. I wasn't going to let him win it. I mean, this is his home track, and of course it'll mean the world to him for winning at least. In fact, did he win in Mugello as well? I think he did. Regardless, he's going to win in these races regardless anyway. But for me, I want to get a victory here in Misano, because for so many years of MotoGP games, Misano has been the track that everyone will win in. It's just so easy against the AI. And this time, it looks like this is not the case. 0.6 of a second we have the gap ahead of Pecco, which is actually quite impressive considering we've dropped the fuel. But it's not enough to guarantee a victory. And that's where we come in now. We must continue to fight. 0.4 of a second. It really doesn't feel like they've got the chance to beat me here. But if anything goes wrong, they will be right on me. And I do fear that if they aren't behind me, they will get away. It's very reminiscent of my Superbike 22 career mode. If you followed that one, you'll know that if I wasn't leading, sometimes it was damn near impossible to get back at the AI, because they just continuously get faster and faster. For us here, we've got to hold them back. We are a moving roadblock, but we won't allow anyone through. That's the plan. We will not be deterred here in Misano. 0.5, 0.2 of a second, 0.3 of a second it is into the right hander for 13. As we go into Caro, the AI go really aggressive here to turn 14, so we might catch a glimpse of Pecco appearing on the screen soon. He's not there yet, but he will be approaching. 0.3 of a second is his. 2.5. That gap is just not changing. This is going to be another intense race, ladies and gentlemen. In Catalonia, that was the most intense race I've ever had in MotoGP against the career mode. Maybe, yeah, I think it probably would be. So I don't know if this is going to top it, but the AI are certainly not giving up. We do get a small reprieve of a little bit of a breather in the first split. I'm able to break into turn 4 with quite confidence, and still have a gap of 0.5 second. But anything after this point, and that gap is going to just disappear. Out to turn 6, the gap is 0.6. It's now down to 5, down to 4.5. Wow, it's down to 0.3 of a second. Oh god. They absolutely eat me alive on that small straight going into Quercia. And of course, guys, if you are enjoying the content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I do appreciate all the assistance, and I appreciate all of the likes on the videos as well. It does help out the channel to grow, helps the YouTube algorithm to push those videos. And I tell you what is pushing is Pecco Bagnaia. He's got the speed. He's already through. This is what I feared. I did think this could happen while trying around the outside, braving it round the outside against Pecco here in Misano. It's got to be done, ladies and gentlemen. Pass or be passed. You know the rules against the 120% difficulty AI. They don't care, so neither will we. We'll give it as good as we've got. If they're going to start attacking us every corner, then we'll do exactly the same. We will not be deterred against Pecco. Quite possibly our toughest competition yet. 2.5 of a second we actually dropped on this lap, but it's still good for a solid, consistent pace. This is going to be this is going to be so intense, and I've still got like 6.5 laps, no, maybe 8 laps to defend against the number 1. Oh, this is going to be tremendously difficult. But we're still holding our own with power setting 2. That I'm pleased with. I'm saving the fuel. If we need it towards the end of the video, guaranteed I'll be using it. But as it stands, I'm happy. I'm quite content. Hervé Poncharal will be having kittens in the garage right now. He'll not believe his luck. Yet again, once again, DrAce and the Gas team are still making moves and shapes to try and make this season a very, very respectable one. A little bit deep into Tramonto. Where is Pecco? He's there again. See, there's the contact. He doesn't care about making contact, so neither should we. But there he goes. He's getting away from us a little bit. Can we go around the outside again? I'm going to go for the tight apex this time. A little bit of contact. And can we go up again? Oh, no, that was terrible. That was terrible. I was trying to turn in there, but unfortunately, he had that line. But quite honestly, we both stayed on. Bit of hard racing. Very similar to the one we had in Jerez not so long ago in the live GP. That was an incredibly aggressive race. I mean, the AI would have blushed at that one. And if you haven't seen that race, I swear I would definitely recommend it to you. It was the Jerez live GP race. I actually called it my most intense online race yet, something like that. And definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. It was a wild one. The riders we were up against were so aggressive that we had to get the gloves off as well and to try and go for the victory. It was an incredible race. Definitely watch it. And yeah, that was reminiscent of how I reacted to Pecco Bagnaia there. He's going to be aggressive, so are we. Gonna try and put it out there that Pecco, you might not know us who we are yet. You might have seen us a couple of times throughout the season. We've won a couple of sprint races. We've featured on podiums. We've won a couple of Grand Prix as well. But we've not really had that exchange yet. This is the race, isn't it? This is when we put the whole MotoGP paddock on notice to say that we are on the worst bike. It's crap. It's really, really weak. And we're still being competitive against the MotoGP World Champion. So, put me on notice and sign me up for a factory deal, because that's what I'm looking for next season. And I've gone deep there for turn 13. Uh-oh. Now for 14. Pecco. Oh, he's gone really wide. Wow. He went extremely wide. But how dare... I was going to say surely he wouldn't have the pace then to get back on the power so quickly. But there he is. And there he is now attacking me into 16. Or at least pushing me into 16. I do fear, though, for this straight, he might have the speed. He does have the speed. I'm trying to get to my braking zone. I don't like braking tight to the apex turn 1. In fact, Pecco's going to... Oh! If he went for that change direction, then I would have blushed. I would have blushed. I like that overtake. I like that change direction. It looks absolutely phenomenal. But it's hard to do in the game. The track feels a little bit tighter than it does in real life. That's a lie. It's the same. But it feels that way with the bike. It just feels hard to do that move. It's very reminiscent of the 2A, 2B corner in the Red Bull Ring of Austria. We've seen Fabio Quartararo do it on Jack Miller, but in the game form, it's not so easy to do. Although I feel I've done it before. I don't know. Trying to give a good example. My mind's everywhere at the moment. Apologies. I'm not quite with it. But as it stands, turn 9. We are gapping very much the same, really. 10th of a second again. Look at, see, I told you about the AI being aggressive. He doesn't care, so neither do we. Pecco, I'm going to go around the outside again if you want. Why not let it fly? He's going to brake a little bit early there, so we take advantage and we go for the wider apex, but it paid off. We must be careful in turn 14, though. There he goes again. Really deep into the corner, but he carries it so quickly. Look at that speed. He's a menace. Pecco Bagnaia is a menace. Into the left-hand side. I'm going to try and go for that tight apex. And I've got to say, I'm getting a little bit worried now. Power setting 3 has been used again. Do we go for it into turn 1? I can't stop there. There's no way. I tried to stop. I wanted to go for that lunge around the outside, but clearly that was never going to work. That was just an aggressive lunge. And Pecco, he got his own back. Fair play. Fair play. I couldn't even budge then. So I'm going to give it back to you. Oh, wow, that's aggressive. That is absolutely ridiculous. The aggression on show here is unbelievable. But the best thing is, look at that. Another one over the inside of Pecco Bagnaia. The fight is on. There goes the Ducati seat, if there ever was one. We're not going to go to Ducati now. There's not a chance. We are burning bridges with every single team within MotoGP just because I'm desperate for wins and victories. I'm effectively Marc Marquez, just being as aggressive as possible because I only have one goal, and that is to win. I apologise, it's too aggressive. I know it is. But the way the AI responds is just insane. The fact that I absolutely rammed into him into the fourth corner there for the Rio corner. He then still had momentum to push into me for the next corner, and then still had the momentum to keep up with me going into the left-hander after that. Meaning, it doesn't matter what contact you give the AI, they don't slow down. So as far as I'm concerned, it's free game. So around the outside into the Misano corner, we're going to do a rehash of this one, are we then? Fine then, Pecco. I'll get over to the left-hand side and I'll avoid hitting you this time. A try on the brakes, around the outside into turn one. Not quite good enough, but we should still have the lead. We do. Pecco gives us a hit. He might push us wide again. Not possible. We still hold on for yet again another intense lap here in Misano. Those lap times are falling though. Well, actually increasing. It's the opposite really, because a falling would mean a good lap time. They're actually not. They're going up to the 132s in a moment. And here oh, look at the speed from Pecco. Good Lord Almighty, that was fast. But we are strong on the brakes there, going sideways almost into Quercia. Goodness me, what a way to bounce back and make content. Christ Almighty, Pecco Bagnaia is on it again. He should be able to go through on Tramonto. I'm feeling weak here. I do feel really vulnerable into turn 10. I think that's where the AI are just far superior. They have the ability to accelerate mid-corner unlike we do, and yet again I've made a small mistake for Pecco to take advantage. Now onto the right-hand side. We try and go for that lunge around the outside. It pays off a little bit. I think I felt a bit of tyre going on to the right-hand side of the Alpine style leathers. Goodness me, that was a bit messy. Oh, don't touch the rear tyre. God Almighty, I panicked then. The AI have a nasty habit of touching your rear tyre, which sends you down. It doesn't send them down, it sends you down. So onto the brakes. I'm going to try and get back up the inside of Jorge Martin. Thank you for the small nudge so I can get into the corner. And now we need to attack Pecco. Into turn one. Can we do it again? No, I'm never going to get that stopped. Oh, I made massive contact, but thankfully it didn't, as I mentioned, didn't even knock Pecco offline. They are glued to the racing line. And you know what? I will take advantage of that, and I'll go for it again into turn 4. Here we come. Pecco, a little bit of a nudge. He still has the speed, and he's still going to get me again. Look at that. Absolutely phenomenal speed from the AI. They are glued to the tarmac. Look at that again. Pecco going around the outside. I'll try and go for it again. We are just changing paint every single lap. This is beautiful. This is what MotoGP racing's all about. The lap times have hardly dropped, even though we're changing paint every other corner. Ridiculous. Absolutely phenomenal racing here. It's aggressive. Oh, I thought Pecco was going to hit us a bit harder than that. He goes through again. I'll have to do the same plan. Wait for the outside opportunity to go. Oh, changed him up though. Oh, a bit more contact. The hands are off the handlebars. Gesticulation from everyone. The crowd are going nuts here in Misano. They won't believe their luck. What a time to pay for MotoGP 23. Pecco Bagnaia and I make more contact now. This one is not ending well. There's going to be some falling out after this one. I don't know whether the Prosecco will be clinked, but I'll tell you one thing, camera lenses are getting clinked right now because there's pictures for days in this one. By far our worst lap of the race, a 1:31.8. In fact, no, it wasn't. It was the 32.004 in the previous lap. Actually improved a little bit there. Goodness me. This race has been ridiculous. This has been absolutely wild. 2 tenths separates us. Bit deep into Rio, but it's okay. We still have the opportunity to lead this Grand Prix coming out of turn 6. 2.5 laps remain here in Misano. The fans are on their feet here in San Marino. I can't wait to see what this culminates. Oh my god, I've gone wide now for Quercia. That's the first time we've made a mistake into the 8th corner. Is Pecco there? I'm going to have to go into Tramonto again defensive. Here we go. Look out for that Ducati. He hasn't appeared yet. What happened? Is he still there? Oh, he's still there. All right, here he comes. The Beast! No, it's not the Beast, it's Pecco. I thought the Beast got through. Never mind about that. I need to pay attention. Pecco Bagnaia is going through. And now for the difficult 13 and 14. Tight it to the apex again. Nice and defensive. I'm so glad I saved the hard front for this one. I don't think the medium could have lasted. Here comes Pecco. I can't really turn in cleanly. I'm a little bit off the circuit. Pecco's got the line again. Gonna go back for the inside line. A bit of contact. See, I'm pushing him, and yet again, he's still maintaining a massive amount of speed. Pecco Bagnaia, he's got it again. Nice and defensive into turn one, though. We retaliate, and we claim the position once more. And again, another 131.8. I don't think I can do much better lap times at this point because of the constant changing of positions. What a way to bounce back to content. What a race this has been. I hope you're enjoying this one, guys. Oh, here comes Pecco again. The content is not finished yet, is it? Oh, more contact. Oh, it's Argy Bargy here in Misano. Oh, this is brilliant. Oh, I have missed this so much. This is great. Oh, this has been wild. The gap is astronomical from, I think, Marquez in 8th to whoever it is in 9th or 10th, but there's a huge gap behind all of us. We've gone deep for Tramonto. Oh, I cut Pecco's nose up then. Not like we haven't been doing that whole race anyway. As it's now do or die for both of us. Now or never for Pecco. And for me, it's just defend like an absolute pro. Like the best defender you've ever seen. Onto the... Oh, losing the rear a little bit. He's coming through. Oh no, what kind of defence was that? I guess this is a good defence. Make sure your defence is good offence, I think. Just make sure that Pecco doesn't have that line going into turn one. Wait, Pecco's dropped down to 4. He'll be fuming if he doesn't get onto the podium now. The Beast is getting involved. The number 23 against the number 47. We've seen that in Ride 5. Me going up against Sergio 23. And then Zarco in 5th position. He'll want revenge from Catalunya, no doubt. The Beast is on the prowl. We're both rocking red with a bit of purple. I like your style, Anea. I hope you like mine too. But for now, I've got one objective on my mind, and that is to win this race. I might have taken the sprint victory, but can we win it in the race as well? It'll be phenomenal. You know what? We might actually be able to use Power Sling 3. I don't really want to though, because I'm going to burn up the rear tyre quite fast in these corners. I'm going to save it. I'll save it for the last bit because I might need it for the line. Tell you what though, we've responded well here. Bastianini's not close enough. I think we could have done this. Let's not get too excited yet. There's 0.3 of a second. 2.5 tenths of it is the gap to 23. Is this going to be it? We would technically end 2023 with this victory here in Misano, but unfortunately it's taken me forever to do the video due to circumstances. But here we go. To start off 2024 the right way, are we going to take a double celebration here in Misano? Super Saturday in the sprint. Is it going to be Super Sunday as well? I think it will be. Into the left-hand side. 0.2 of a second separates us. Power setting 3 to the maximum. Across the line. We have yet again won here in Misano. And the Beast was so close again. Lord almighty. He was 38,000 of a second behind me. Wow. That's prime example of you might not be the fastest rider on track, but if you have the nous and the aggression, you can keep yourself in the lead, and that's exactly what we did here today. Whew. That felt good. How did Paul get on the end? Oh, never mind. He finished effective, which is dead. Oh my god, all 3 KTMs are there. Jack, Paul and Brad. And yet this one won the race. Ridiculous. So having a look at the championship. We were a race too late. We were a race weekend late to finish top 5 in the championship. I tell you what, top 5 in the championship's impressive. Could we go for 3rd? I think we could. I really think we can, you know. Well, we'll have to see how it goes, but I'm curious to see. Did Taka Nakagami get a point? And he didn't. Oh, Taka. We're 12 rounds in, mate. Oh, never mind. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've lost my voice. I wasn't practicing, I don't think. But, yeah. Guys, thanks for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed. I appreciate all the love and support I've had recently after my granddad passed on Christmas Day. I do really appreciate it. And honestly, it feels great to be back making content for you guys again today. I've missed this a lot, and I'm beginning to feel a lot better. So guys, thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Ciao for now, from a very humble DrAce. Guys, thank you. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.